Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we're literally taking almost the same setup as the break of the low. Instead we're looking for a break of the high setup and we're literally flipping it vice versa. So again, just like in the break of the low setup, first of all, price needs to be in session. We need to be able to identify the highs and the lows of the market of that trading day. So in a situation where price is clearly in a bullish condition and we identify the high being of the high of the day being over here, right once price ended up closing above the high of the day and making new highs, then essentially the probability for price to continue to go up is a lot higher. Now personally, my favorite trade setups again are taking trades at the support or resistance levels, but in a situation where we have a break of the high here, then your entry is right once this candlestick closes, and you could place your stop loss again either under the candlestick low or the previous candlestick's low. The previous candlestick's low is going to be a lot safer and you give price a little bit more room to breathe, but then you just simply aim for your 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, let the trade do its thing, and then that's when you can potentially get out for a profit. And again, this is all within a trading day. We're looking for price to give us these breaks at the highs during the trading session. So this was CPI, so I don't really want to kind of try and consider CPI into this. But again, we need price to be in a bullish condition where we're looking for price to continue to actually go up and buy, right? So in a situation where we have price kind of, this is different too, this was also a news event. So I'm actually going to look for when the market was actually trending bullish, so we can look for these examples. So here we have an example over here of price trending bullish. So now let's look for price to actually give us essentially a break of the previous high, and then we're going to be looking for price to form a new high. So obviously, there's multiple different situations, there's multiple different examples that we could kind of look for. I want to find different examples to show you guys. So as you can see, there's many different trade setups throughout the entire day here, right? And we have price actually form a high over here. Depending on when you trade, this is 9:30, so this is when the market opened, the market dumped, the market went back up. So we could potentially look for this to be a break of the high situation. Now, keep in mind, we're mainly trading after 9:30. So the market opens at 9:30. This is when the market opens. The market actually dumped, then continued to go up and make new highs. The candle actually closed over here. And in a situation where price is at major resistance right here, I definitely would not have taken this position. So we would have waited for price to form new highs, essentially. And price did. Price came down, formed new highs. So if you're looking for a break of the high type of setup, right, we're waiting for price to actually close above the previous high, which it closed above the previous high over here and closed above major resistance over here as well. So just for example purposes, this is where you would have looked at taking the position, especially with the candlestick this large. This is a pretty good stop loss. Place your stop loss under the low of the previous candlesticks, and then we have a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, which ultimately that would have been hit throughout the trading day. Let's go back into the previous trading day. Lots of consolidation, so it would have been definitely a lot more difficult for you to take this position here. Now I want to show you guys a losing example here, because here there's clearly a losing example. So here we have a bunch of consolidation. We have price close above here. Now in this situation, you could have entered the market here. You would have placed your stop loss 2 candlesticks under the low, and you would have seen that price would have just dumped and given you a steeper pullback, which is fine. It's going to happen, right? But then what we have is we have a new high that price actually formed, right? So you could look at this from a few different perspectives. Since price did come up and form a new high here, essentially this would be your new high over here, and then we have price actually come up and actually form a new high and close above the previous high, piercing the previous highs. That's what's important with the lows and the highs. We need to see price action actually pierce above the previous highs as a result of making new highs. So no matter if you would have put your horizontal line here, no matter if you would have put your horizontal line here, price did make new highs and did close above the highs as well. So in this situation, again, you would have bought here with your stop loss under the low of this candlestick. This candlestick would have been excessive, and just look for a simple 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, which would have made this loss back plus an extra reward ratio. Again, this is more of a scalping type of method, and I'm on a 5-minute time frame. You can bump it up to a 15-minute time frame as well. But again, I'm just here to show you guys example purposes of these different setups. I don't want to make this video too long because, I mean, I'm very positive that you guys get the point. But then here we have price actually form a high as well. So actually this is not even in the trading session. I don't know why I thought this was in the trading session. Here we have price form another high all throughout this entire range here. We see price close above the highs. We make an entry right once price closes above the highs. We have price come down. We put our stop loss 2 candlesticks lower to the wick. We typically look to target a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That gets tapped, and then we see price go in the complete opposite direction, which is another example of a break of the highs here. Again, guys, this is not something that's too complicated. It's not really a very complicated setup. It really isn't. But again, I just kind of want to be a little bit repetitive here. So it's a lot more difficult to actually tell when you're in a consolidating state. Again, when price is consolidating like this, I definitely wouldn't look for these types of setups. I would definitely look for these setups when price is actually in a trending condition. But even if you would have set like a high being right here, the price would have came and closed right here, your stop loss in this situation, your entry would be right once price closes below the high. Stop loss under the low of the previous candle, or if you want to be safe for the previous candle before that. Ultimately, it's situational. For me, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable placing it under the previous candlestick low. We do this because if price breaks under the previous candlestick low, then essentially it's looking to make lower lows. Then we target a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which that would have been hit there as well. So I don't want to be too repetitive with these types of setup, guys. But again, like, these are trend continuation setups, and that's typically what we look for in a trending market when we're looking for price to actually continue. Essentially, when price breaks above the previous high, makes a new high, we're anticipating it, and it has a high probability of continuing to go up. So hopefully the setup wasn't very hard to understand, but with that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next setup video.